Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU TV.
Hi, we're the 6th grade class from St. Mary's School in Clyde, Ohio. Welcome to News 6.
Hi, I'm Joe Byer from St. Mary's School in Clyde, Ohio. Welcome to News 6. With our first story, here's Aaron Payne.
Thank you, Joe. Clyde has become known as America's most famous small town, ever since Sherwood Anderson wrote about it as Winesburg, Ohio in his novels. The Winesburgian of Clyde pays tribute to the famous author, as News 6 found out when we talked to President Robert Good. When and why was the restaurant built?
The restaurant was built in 1980. Actually, the building was already here, but that had been built back in the 40s by German prisoners of war when they were kept at Camp Perry and bused down here to this nursery to handhold the whole farm. And while they were here, they built the buildings, and this building was used as a showroom for the old Clyde nursery.
Why is the restaurant decorated this way?
Okay, the restaurant is decorated this way to follow a theme. And of course, the theme that we're using is from the book of Winesburg, Ohio, which is basically written by Sherwood Anderson and talks about Clyde and the places that were in Clyde, Ohio when he lived here as a boy.
Who built the airplane, and is there any story connected with it?
That was built by Harry Russell Jr., which is now deceased, and he spent 7 years building that airplane, and it's all made out of packing crates and junk material that were here at the old Clyde nursery. When he moved away, he moved to Michigan, and when he was up there, he spent the rest of his days working on a full-scale model. This one is a 2/3 scale model of a real World War I Jenny Curtis training plane. It has a 27-foot wingspan. A real one would have 40 feet. So he was very generous in donating that to Winesburgian for people to see. It's the only one like it in the world, a real model airplane that would actually fly if it had a real engine in it. But it's there for everybody to see in the little Chicago lounge.
This News 6 is produced by the 6th grade of St. Mary's School in Clyde, Ohio. Clyde is located about 10 miles east of Fremont in Sandusky County. It was founded in 1820 and has a current population of 5,500.
News 6 recently took a behind-the-scenes look at the greenhouse and nursery business when we visited Clyde's own Doble's Flower Shop.
When and how did Doble start in Clyde?
Well, it started in about 1916 when my grandfather, Arthur Doble, came from Norwalk, where he had a small greenhouse, and he started this one here in Clyde.
Do you start all the plants from seeds?
Many of the plants are started from seeds. Some are started from cuttings, roots, bulbs, and other plant parts. But most of what you're seeing here now, these were all started from a little seed.
How much water does it take to irrigate the flowers?
Well, each plant has its own specific requirements, and it varies from crop to crop, depending a lot on how big the plant is, whether the plant is in a ground bench like this, or whether it's being raised in a small container. But we use between 60 and 70,000 gallons of water monthly, which we get from the city of Clyde.
What do you do with the flowers you do not sell?
Well, hopefully we move out all of our production, either wholesale or retail. We also sell to other florists in the area.
Our Kids View reporter took to the streets of Clyde this week to ask St. Mary's students about their ideal place to live in America. Here's the report.
Hi, I'm Miles Morris with the Kids View question of the day. Which U.S. city would you like to live in and why? We asked several students what they thought.
I'd like to live in Oakland because it's the home of the A's.
I would like to live in Green Springs, Ohio because it's quiet, small, and it's very beautiful during different seasons.
I'd like to live in Clyde, Ohio because it's a small and quiet town.
Few people know that famous war general James Birdseye McPherson was born in Clyde. News 6 recently spoke with historian Lois Hall at the site of the McPherson Monument to learn more about Clyde's famous war hero.
What is it that makes General McPherson so famous and a hero to Clyde?
General McPherson was born in Clyde, and then he received his education in Clyde from his grandmother. He then was given a commission to West Point, and he received his education there. And during one of the battles on July the 22nd in 1864, he was shot. He was killed during the battle, and he became the highest ranking officer to be killed in the Civil War.
How did General McPherson die?
He was riding his horse and commanding his men, and he was shot. And we have in our museum and in the pictures, the old pictures of Clyde, we have pictures of the where he was at the time in Atlanta, Georgia.
Why did they name the highway McPherson Highway?
Because this village of Clyde, which it was in 1940, in the village of Clyde petitioned the government to honor General McPherson, not only with the monument, which we as a community bought and paid for, but to give him national honor. So they took the Highway 20 and closed it at our corporation. It became McPherson Highway. It goes from our corporation to corporation, from the east to the west.
That's all for News 6 this week. Join us again next week when we travel to Bath Middle School in Lima.